Hello out there, how are you? I appreciate you stopping by. This is Health World View. Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe, like, share, click notification button so that when we're on, you'll be notified. Thank you so much. Listen, this video I'm about to show you is to do with cosmetic surgery, but I don't want to go into it at all. I just want you to hear for yourself, listen for yourself, and please take precaution, whether it's for you, a friend, a neighbor, whoever that you might meet in the future or it's in your life today that want to go through this procedure. Give them this video to watch it so that they know what to look out for. I think that's all I have to say because it's so painful sometimes and to see what people go through and it's hard to understand. So I'm gonna just go and play for you and please share with your friends and family. Thank you so much. Or you could put it on your platform out there just to spread the good news so that others can be helped. Well, when I mean good news, it's not good news for what happened to the lady, but for the other people that might be able to watch this and be safe or protected and helped from making this kind of mistake. Okay, let's go.
News has confronted a reality TV star known as the Lip King over the death of a woman who was treated at a beauty clinic in Gloucester. Alice Webb, a 33-year-old mother of 5, died last week after receiving a non-surgical procedure known as a Brazilian butt lift or BBL. We understand that Jordan Park, who is not a qualified surgeon, was among those arrested and subsequently released following her death. Over the past year, we've been investigating the issue of such non-surgical cosmetic treatments. The death of Alice Webb has led to increased calls for greater regulation of the industry and a warning there are graphic images in Ellie Pitt's special report.
He said, I have got sepsis and I need to operate in 20 minutes or else I'm not going to be here no more.
These women are talking about what happened to them after they had the same beauty treatment.
It came up in blisters, they then started to pop, like all the filler was coming out, blood, it was terrible.
It's called the non-surgical Brazilian butt lift, and it's where hundreds of millilitres of cosmetic fluid called filler is injected into the buttocks.
The procedure itself was really painful.
Had your sister not have called the ambulance when she did, she said you could have died within the hour.
ITV has spoken to dozens of women on and off camera who've suffered life-threatening infections, rotting skin and needed emergency surgery after having it done. Alice Webb underwent a non-surgical BBL in Gloucestershire last week. The mum of 5 suffered complications following the procedure and was taken to hospital where she died. The exact cause of her death has not been released. 2 people have been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter in connection with Alice's death. Both have been bailed and no one has been charged. ITV News understands that one of those arrested was Jordan Park, known to his online following as the Lip King.
I'm obsessed with fillers, so I decided to go and train to become an esthetician, and that's what I do now, and I love it.
He's appeared on cosmetic surgery reality TV shows and has his own clients. It's understood he doesn't have any surgical qualifications but carries out the filler BBL, which doesn't fall under any current UK regulation. He calls himself a body filler specialist and sells the treatments for at least £1,000 but often offers discount deals. This is all legal.
Do you have a message for Alice's family? Why do you carry out Brazilian butt lifts without medical qualifications?
We tried to speak to Mr. Park.
Where are you off to?
But he didn't answer any of our questions. ITV News has been investigating liquid BBLs for nearly a year. we've gone undercover in the aesthetics industry to reveal how non-medics are going on one-day training courses before injecting clients. Professionals warned us that unsafe practices could have dangerous consequences.
I can't work in an industry that has this laxness and attitude and no protection for the patients.
I go to the gym quite a lot. I thought that'll just fill in the areas that it's taken me quite a while to fill in.
Sarah had a filler BBL earlier this year. It was not performed by Jordan Park. She was seriously ill afterwards.
4 days to 5 days afterwards, I felt really ill. I kept going in and out of consciousness, and then the side just started leaking out infection. I was hospitalised for a whole week. It was very scary. I was very lucky that I didn't actually have to be operated on, which they were looking at doing.
What do you think about the current UK regulation around filler BBLs and who can perform them?
I think it should be banned unless it's performed by a surgeon, because it says non-surgical BBL, but it's very, very invasive.
Stricter rules around who can carry out filler BBLs is what Ashton Collins has been calling for. She runs a register of accredited aesthetic practitioners and believes Alice Webb would still be alive if the industry was regulated.
This is something that we've warned the government about since December last year. We said in no uncertain terms that unless they do something about these procedures, someone would die, and we need to now make sure that nobody else is in this situation. No other family loses a loved one.
Alice, like so many others, had a procedure to change her shape. But for some working in the industry, regulation is the only way to deal with the risks, and now reality that it could be fatal.
And it really is a distressing case, isn't it? What are the chances then of regulation?
Well, the previous government, Lucrezia, did quite a bit of work, or started quite a bit of work on this area. They held a consultation which introduced the idea of a tiered system, so only medical professionals could carry out the most invasive body augmentation filler procedures. And they also looked at having mandatory licences for both the practitioner and their premises. That work, industry stakeholders are waiting for the current government to pick up and carry forward. But for now, they're just telling us that they're exploring options around regulatory oversight. But for people who work in the industry, there isn't the sense of urgency that they feel we need. I mean, look, we report on issues abroad of surgeries and cosmetic work going wrong. Now we're seeing it more and more on our own doorstep, and plastic surgeons are saying we need to look at what's going on in this country, in the UK. We're seen to Europe as the Wild West of aesthetics, and now here we are looking and talking about the first death here in the UK.
Yeah, all right, Ellie, thank you.
As part of a special series on ITV News, we are investigating the dark side of cosmetic surgery. For our latest report, Ellie Pitt has been following the story of Sarah Platt, whose procedure in Turkey nearly cost her life. Wanting to get rid of excess skin after a previous surgery, she travelled to Turkey last February, one of more than 150,000 Brits who make that journey every single year. But it went horribly wrong. She was left in debilitating pain, suffered shocking injuries and became badly infected. Her condition was so bad she nearly died. Now she's allowed us to film with her as she undergoes her latest round of corrective surgery back in the UK, and a warning that throughout Ellie's report there are extremely graphic images of the injuries which Sarah suffered and footage of her undergoing surgery.
I was totally butchered. And I'm going to need more surgery, unfortunately.
That's not right, that is.
No, it's really hurting.
It's not right at all.
What happens when surgery in Turkey goes wrong? This is Sarah Platt's story.
I was rotting, I was green in a hotel room.
In order to lose weight, 3 years ago, Sarah Platt had an operation in Turkey that reduced the size of her stomach. It worked, but after shedding 12 stone, she had excess skin that she wanted gone. So, after a year of research and visit to a Turkish clinic, in February 2023 she flew over to have surgery to remove the skin, as well as a breast lift and implants. Sarah paid £15,000. It would have cost around £10,000 more in the UK. As soon as she woke up from the procedure, she felt that something was wrong.
I remember coming round. I remember feeling so naive. I didn't know. I literally didn't know, like, is this normal? Like, am I overreacting? This pain is the worst pain I've had in my life. I remember my dad being by the side of me and he's like, breathe, you need to breathe, Sarah, you need to breathe. And there's loads of nurses around me and I was like, kill me, tell him to kill me, Dad, you need to tell him, kill me, I can't do this, you need to tell him. And I'd never experienced this. I wanted to die. I couldn't deal with this pain. And I remember looking down and I remember realising that my breast, after an hour of coming around, my breast was purple. I currently sleep in the kitchen, come bedroom, because it's easier for me, you know, going up and down the stairs, the toilet's right next to me.
It's been 18 months since Sarah went to Turkey and life has changed beyond recognition. She's allowed us to film her reality now and follow her as she prepares for her 10th corrective operation back home in South Wales.
But this is a big change, isn't it?
Yeah, because my bedroom used to be upstairs. Yeah, my bedroom was upstairs, so I'm currently in the kitchen. Yeah.
Following the failed Turkish tummy tuck, Sarah needed a skin graft, but the scar has begun tethering or attaching to the muscle beneath it. It causes disabling pain and limits her movement.
I'm literally getting pain, like, I'll show you now, like right there right now, and right there.
Across there.
Right there.
Sarah is having surgery through the NHS, but her surgeon has invited us to his private clinic to explain how he will hopefully, and almost literally, put her back together again.
Do you feel tight across here?
Yeah, and it literally feels like it's ripping.
Yeah, it's a bit tight there.
Yeah.
So literally have to undermine under here. Lift it quite a long way that way, and then bring it over.
If Professor Whitaker can remove the graft and seal the skin, it could transform Sarah's mobility and discomfort.
My biggest concern is at the top and the bottom, ironically. Here it's probably not too bad.
But there is no guarantee he will be able to completely close the wound once he's reopened it.
Yeah, it's all tethered under there. Sorry.
It's all right.
How would you describe the work of the surgeon in Turkey?
It was a very unusual combination of surgeries. There was lots of combinations done together. The blood supply to the tissue, it's fair to say, wasn't respected. It was a very long operation, I believe 30.5 hours, which is certainly much longer than we'd say is safe in the UK for an anaesthetic. And there was obviously, in my opinion, a lack of training and a knowledge of anatomy. So I think it was a combination of the surgery, the length of the surgery, and the patient selection.
9 days after her surgery in Turkey, Sarah was feeling seriously ill.
It's coming out loads.
She decided to ask her husband to help remove her bandages in the hotel bathroom.
That's not right, that.
No, it's really hurting.
It's not right at all.
As he was undoing it, all this brown liquid started seeping out of my body. And I screamed. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I felt like I was falling apart. That's the feeling it had. It was like, oh my God, my insides are going to come out. They show all these amazing images, all these, health holiday. It's not a health holiday. They told me I'd be sitting by the pool within 3 days. I was rotting in a hotel room.
Her dream of a new body had become a nightmare and was now close to killing her. Her body was riddled with infection and her skin tissue was dying. The Turkish surgeon decided to perform a second procedure, this time not in an operating theatre, but what looked like a beauty clinic, using only local anaesthetic. Sarah was awake while the doctor began working on the wound in her stomach.
He was handed a burning tool. He started burning me, and that will, for the rest of my life, haunt me. Every day, every night. Like, that ruined my life, that did, because that was worse than the cutting. The cutting was nothing compared to that. That, like, I could hear the sizzling in my skin. I felt like I was on fire and burning on the inside out. Like, I could literally see the smoke. And I knew at that point then, I'm done. I'm gonna die. Like, when you realise, I feel sick, sorry. When you realise that I don't think I'm gonna see my kids again. And that upsets me the most, that does, because I thought I'm never gonna see my babies again.
When Sarah returned home in February last year after her surgery in Turkey, She went to A&E where Professor Whitaker was the plastic surgeon on call.
How severe was Sarah's case?
It was a devastating case with significant infection, lots of tissue that was dead, and it was life-threatening. If there'd been a delay in hospital admission or transfer, then there definitely would be a chance of mortality.
We're about to show the most graphic pictures that Sarah took of her injuries after she had multiple operations to save her life and rebuild her body. She spent 8 weeks in hospital in Wales. Her right breast could not be rescued, and Sarah has significant scarring.
They've taken quite a bit this time.
As her near-death experience and lifelong disfigurement sunk in, Sarah endured a period of psychosis that saw her admitted to an inpatient mental health unit.
It's destroyed me, totally destroyed me. Destroyed my family, destroyed the whole dynamic, destroyed my future.
How would you say your experience has changed you as a person?
I feel like a shell. I don't feel like Sarah. And I say that a lot. I'd love to be back, the bubbly Sarah. Do you mean, I try to come back. Do you mean, and I work and work, but it's left me questioning the rest of my life. I wanted to finally feel good about myself. Do you mean, I look in the mirror and I don't see me at all. I look in the mirror and I hate it.
Yeah, if you want to get the chicken off me then.
I'll sort the chicken out.
Right.
Too nervous then or what?
Yeah, extremely nervous. I feel a little bit sick, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to eat this dinner. Right, dinner time, guys. You all ready?
Yummy! We're with Sarah the night before the operation to remove her skin graft. Her family are preparing for her to be admitted to hospital.
Mommy's going to miss you when she's in hospital for a couple of days.
When you're going to have your surgery, I'm going to miss you a lot.
Yeah?
If you, like, stitch that hole up in your belly,
Yeah.
you'll, like, become a normal mum then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully they can fix it and Mummy won't be in a lot of pain anymore and Mummy can do more things with you, yeah? Go to the park.
Yeah, that's my favourite.
And Mummy can actually push you on the swing.
Yeah.
Because Mummy can't pick you up, can she?
No, when you're, like, in pain.
No, I can't.
Only Daddy can. You have, like, your skin away.
Mm.
And that's why you have a hole.
Yeah. I've got quite a few nighties.
Yeah. Although this procedure is being done in the UK, the thought of going under the knife again brings back traumatic memories.
As you're packing this bag, describe to me the feelings, the emotion that's going through you now.
I'm wondering if everything's going to go right. Wondering if I'm going to be able to come back home again. Do you mean everything just goes through your mind? Do you mean, and it's so scary. Like I put on this brave front that do you mean I can get through anything? But deep down, I am absolutely so scared. I'm terrified.
Because when you're in there, what's important for you to feel like after all your experiences?
Safe. Like majorly safe. I know I'm in safe hands this time though. Like they saved my life last year. That hospital, like I can never be thankful, like any more thankful than what I am.
You good now, right? Yeah.
It's the morning of Sarah's operation to remove the skin graft.
Walking back in these doors, I'm like, oh.
Does it feel real now you're here? Yeah.
Ooh, it's feeling real now. I'm so nervous.
Morning, how are you doing?
Morning, I'm good, thank you.
Sure?
Yeah,
Great.
Nervous, really nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. You're in really good hands today.
Yeah.
And you've been through all the worst of it. Although it looks like it can close when you really press it, then I'm very anxious we don't push it too much.
Too much,
just
too like
because
small. Yeah.
we want to, if that makes sense.
Professor Whitaker's challenge is to close the 8 centimetre wide and 11 centimetre long hole that will be left by the removal of the scar on her stomach. He won't know for sure if he'll be able to do that until during the surgery.
There we are.
Okay.
Yeah. Love you. Bye-bye.
What are you hoping to achieve in surgery today?
So the plan today is essentially take out as much of the abnormal tissue as we can, and then to advance or pull together the skin and fat on either side of the abdomen, so she'll just have a scar but she won't have the big skin graft which is stuck down to the muscle, and we're hoping that will have a big impact not only on how it looks but more importantly how it feels and reduce the pain and discomfort. There's lots of scar tissue which is tethering it to the underneath. It's going really well so far. So I've taken out all the scar tissue. So I'm just deciding now whether to resite the tummy button. But I'm definitely happy with how it's going so far.
Words like botched and butchered are used often when referring to complications that arise from Turkish surgery. Would you agree with that description?
They are colloquial terms which we don't really like using as a plastic surgeon, and there are some very good Turkish surgeons, but I think in this case I think it'd be very fair to call it something along those lines. It was a life-threatening complication with very poor results which have left a very vulnerable lady in a very difficult situation. We just have to find a way to get it closed now.
It's been 18 months since Sarah's surgery in Turkey, and she's still having to undergo major operations to correct that work. And she knows that this is unlikely to be her last.
So I'm just closing up now, closing up the deeper layers of the fat. We've resited the tummy button to be a bit higher up, and we're going to close the skin component next to bring it all in together.
Can we get some big silks, please?
How's it gone?
Really, really well. We've all finished now. It's completely closed, up to 6 layers in parts, including the muscle. I did explain there was a chance we may not be able to close it, so she'll be pleasantly surprised. Removing all the scarring and tethering is going to make her just feel so much better. It's been a really worthwhile procedure and it's gone really well.
Professor Whitaker has been able to remove the skin graft entirely and leave Sarah with a single thin scar. The operation has been a success at a cost to the National Health Service. But whether the taxpayer should pick up the bill for cosmetic surgery that's gone wrong abroad brings into question the central principle of the NHS.
There have been postulations of an average of £15,000 roughly per patient, but with someone like Sarah who's having 8 to 10 procedures, this could easily be 6 figures, so 100,000 plus per patient. So I'd say tens of millions of pounds is costing the NHS money, and it's also costing them bed days where other patients could be treated.
What do you think should be done to mitigate that?
There's no doubt we would like not to be doing these procedures because procedures were done well in the first place. But I think particularly if it's affecting pain or function or the psychological effects, people may think it's just aesthetic, and it really isn't. Whether there should be a cost that the patient themselves pay or insurance pays or comes from overseas is something that is being discussed.
Back on the surgical ward, Sarah has woken up from the anaesthetic and is about to find out how her operation went.
How are you feeling?
I'm alright,
Good,
I'm not
good.
too bad, yeah.
Oh, it's really good to see you.
Yeah, so how did you,
I was really happy with how it went. We managed to get out all the skin graft from the top, and all the skin graft from the bottom.
No way!
All of it, yeah. So
oh my God.
It's quite a big operation.
I'm just over the moon, I'm over the moon. And I know without that now I'm going to have less pain. So I'm so thankful for what you've done for me, I really am.
How are you getting on? Sarah is now back home with her family and recovering well.
I am so happy with the results, and the care I've had. It's just been absolutely, they're insane. They're insanely amazing. I can't thank them enough. Like, looking at myself in the mirror now, even though I've got bandages on, I'm in love. I'm in love with what should have been ages ago, what it should have been like. This is what it should have been like a long time ago.
There will be people watching this questioning whether you should have had surgery on the NHS. What do you say to them?
I will pay the NHS back. I've always said that all along. I mean, they saved my life and I owe them everything. I owe them everything, and I will happily pay them back whatever it's cost to save my life.
Come on then, put up to bed.
The popularity of plastic surgery is seeing droves of British patients prepared to take the risk of operations in Turkey. Many are rewarded, but others pay the price of disfigurement and disabilities. And the cost of that is felt when they're back home.
I
love
you.
And if you've been affected by the issues raised in Ellie's report, our website has more information on where you can get help and support. Just head to itv.com/news.
Wow. I'm just thinking, first of all, what do you think about this? Please leave us a comment. My thought was, should the NHS really be, make a decision to subsidize those who go abroad who want to do plastic surgery? Should they subsidize or reduce the price, make it mandatory to reduce the price for plastic surgery or whatever surgery they want to do, so they don't have to go abroad and people die, they come disabled, and then the NHS, they have to deal with it. Like, the NHS have to help her out, Otherwise, she would be in the problem, or maybe, will affect her life and, maybe even cut her life short. So I'm thinking they should think on something like that to just help them out, because there will be people all the time that will not be satisfied of the way they look and want to change this and that. It's always, that's just what happened to us as women more than men. So I think the government should come into this, because a lot of people are going out of the country and they're being cheated. The money is taken and then they come back hurt, some die. It just the list goes on. The mental anguish and all of the emotional pain, and they can't sue these people. They can't go after them. There's nothing they can do. They have to just bear the loss of the finances, the emotional problem, trauma, the mental anguish, all of it. They have to go to, then their physical body being damaged for life. They have to go through all of that. So I would think the government should come in, or the NHS should come into this, That's my own opinion. So let me hear of yours. Thank you for watching. Share, like, click notification button, so when we're on, you will be notified. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day. Bye.